Okay, hello guys. Today is our second lesson in ratio. Okay, it's like the sixth lesson in IGCSE lesson. Okay, so let's move into the second part about scales and maps. Okay, so let's move into the first part about scales. So here is the meaning of the scale. Like here, a scale of 1 versus 50,000 means that 1 unit on the map represents for 50,000 units in the real life. Okay, so maybe sometimes you're maybe a student in geography, you're just learning this, okay? So maybe you're very familiar with map. So you can find maybe for the total world, it's a very big scale. If you want to put all of them into a very tiny map, you have to just make them to become minimized, right? Their size must be minimized, okay? So here we're just using the scale to minimize them and like exact scale, okay? So like here you can find maybe if we have this scale 1 versus 50,000, so maybe we have 1 centimeter on the map, we can consider this 50,000 centimeter in the real life, okay? So this is like this way. So if you have 1 inch on the map, that means we have 50,000 inches in the real life, okay? Also, we can using this to calculate what is for centimeter and what is for kilometer and meter, and to transfer them very easily in the real life, okay? That is for how to understanding the maps right here, okay? So here you can find your some unit conversions when you're learning before this, and I hope you can just learn or already remind of them, okay? So like here for kilometer to meter to centimeter, we know that from kilometer to meter because 1 kilometer equals to a kilometer, right? So we can say the transfer ratio is for 1,000. And from meter to centimeter, we knew that 1 meter equals to 100 centimeter. So here we can say, oh, maybe here we have to times 100 after meter, okay? And also for centimeter to meter to kilometer, we can say from centimeter to meter, we have divided by 100. And from meter to kilometer, we have to divide it by 1,000, okay? So please remind here, for kilometer to centimeter and also for centimeter to kilometer, they are very important for you to remind all the values right here and how to convert them. They're very important, okay? That's for the unit conversions, okay? And here's a real calculation problems. Let's do together. So here for the scale is 1 versus 50,000 and the map distance is 8 centimeter, right? So maybe here we said the scale is 1 versus 50,000, but we have to using the distance on the map to time the scale, right? So we can say it's 8 centimeter times 50,000, okay? So here maybe means that 8 centimeter means the map's distance. And here we have to versus the total distance, like here, total distance. Okay, so for 8 centimeter, we can just times 50,000, and it can becomes to, I guess, is for 400,000, right? That is for total kilometer right here. Okay. And then you can also convert the units. Okay, so you can say, oh, maybe here, 40,000 centimeter, you have to over the 100,000 equals to the kilometer. So that is for 4 kilometer. So maybe for 8 centimeter on the map, it equals to 4 kilometer. So maybe I guess it's for maybe just small valley. I guess it's not a very big scale for a country maps. Okay, I guess here is just for a valley. Okay, so here's for 4 centimeter. Okay. And another problem is that here, a scale is for 1 versus 200,000, and the real distance is 15 kilometer, right? So we can say, oh, maybe for the map distance, it's versus the real distance. Like here, map distance versus real distance equals to 1 over 20,000, right? And we knew that the real distance here is for 50 kilometer, right? So we can just using this to calculate, and you'll find that, oh, maybe for the map distance is for 7.5 centimeter, right? So 7.5 centimeter versus 15,000, sorry, 15 kilometer equals to 1 versus 200,000. Okay, that's very important for you to just understand in your mind. Okay, so just like we can convert from the real to the map and also from the map to the real. Okay, that's for this. And also, here are some further understanding questions like here for area scale factors. Okay, so maybe here is that, oh, maybe the linear scale is for 1 versus k, and find the area scale is 1 versus k squared, right? So we knew that maybe we have a rectangle, which is for maybe here's 1 centimeter and here's for 2 centimeter. If we just prolong it as 2 times on both the width and the length, we can say it becomes 2 and 4, right? So for the area in the front rectangle is 1 times 2, it equals to 2, right? And for the second rectangle is 2 times 4, it equals to 8, right? So you can find 8 is equals to 2 times 4, right? So we can say that here the ratio is 4. So here also for this kind, like scale 1 versus 3, that means we have the area versus the scale is 1 versus 9, right? 1 square versus 3 square, okay? That is for the ratio, okay? So how we can use this, like here is some questions for you, okay? So for the first question is convert 50,000 centimeter into kilometer, okay? So first, maybe for this problem, I guess you can just take your time to do some time, just do some seconds, but it's not really difficult if you are very familiar with centimeter and kilometer, right? Because we knew that from centimeter to meter, just 100 ratio, right? 1 versus 100. And from meter to kilometer, we know that the ratio is 1 versus 1,000, right? So here we have like 100 times 1,000, that maybe is for 100,000, okay? So here, after the converting, you can find the final answer is 0.5 kilometer, right? So it's like 50,000, and here 1 versus 100 is for 500, and 500 versus 1,000 is just equals to 0.5, okay? It's for 0.5 kilometer. And for the second problem is that the map distance between the two towns is 12 kilometer, and calculate the real distance in kilometer, right? So for here, we can say, oh, maybe here for two towns, for town A and town B, the distance here is for 12 centimeter, right? And if you want to calculate the real distance in kilometer, like here, we have the scale is 1 versus 225,000, right? So you can just using 12 centimeter to times 25,000, right? So here you can find maybe the answer if you want to transfer into kilometer, and here first you have to just convert it like 12, like you have to just convert it like 0.12 meter, right? And then times 5,000, right? And after that, because you want to convert a meter into the kilometer, so you also have to delete 30 to becomes kilometer, right? So the final answer here is for 0.12 times 25, okay? So after calculating, I find the answer is 3 kilometer, okay? And also for the third question, you knew that real distance is for 6 kilometer, and you want to find the distance on map. So you see the kilogram over 25,000, right? So finally, the answer is 24 centimeter, okay? And the first question is that, oh, maybe a lake has an area of 4 centimeters square in the map and going to a real area of the lake square kilometers, right? So we knew that the area is 4 centimeters square, and we said that if the length had a scale like 1 versus 25,000, so the area must become the square ratio, right? So it becomes 1 versus 25,000 square. So that is for the maps area, and that is for the real area, right? Okay. So for here, that is for 4 centimeters square, right? So for the total real area, we can set that is 4 times 25,000 square. And the answer here is for like 100,000, then times for 25,000. And also remember that here is for just centimeter square. Okay, but you have to just convert it into the kilometer square. So first we knew that from centimeter to kilometer, we had to like overlap two units, right? First centimeter to meter it has 100, right? And from meter to kilometer, we have 1,000. So here total we have 1,000 scale distance. Okay, so here we have to convert it from like 1 versus maybe for here is for 100, maybe for 10,000, right? Oh, sorry. I guess it's for 100,000, right? 100,000. Okay. So here finally the answer also had to delete by 100,000. So finally here the answer is for over 100,000, and here is just for I guess it's for 25 200 sorry 2,500 kilometer square, right? Okay. So sometimes this question is very a little bit annoying. Okay. Okay, then for these problems, I only want you to just understand how to transfer them and how to make a ratio between them. To remember that for the map distance versus the real distance means a ratio, but for the areas on map versus the area in the real map, in the real reality, that here is for just becomes the 1 over ratio square, okay? That's for all today's total lesson. I hope you can just understanding for how to convert the ratios and how to just master them as possible as you can. Okay. So do you have any questions? You can just give you your comment under this video. I hope I can help you. Okay, that was our lesson. So see you next time. Bye.